What's up YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. As you can see from the thumbnail and from the title of this video, this is part 2 of my playoff predictions for the NFL playoffs. As promised, I'm doing one of these every single week, and this is the second iteration. And if you watched last week's wild card game, super wild card games that is, then you know that this divisional round coming up is only expected to be even more entertaining than the opening round. Now granted, I was a little bit disappointed because my LA Chargers got beat by the Jaguars. However, even though I'm not a Cowboys fan, I'm proud of what them boys in Dallas did when they went down and beat Tampa Bay. So shouts out to the Cowboys for that, but still sad that the Chargers lost. But getting into this week's picks without any further ado, as always, same spiel I always do. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Without any further ado, let's get right into these picks and how these games are going to go. So the first game we're going to spend some time talking about are the Bills versus the Bengals, and I think this has potential to be a very good game based on the matchups for both teams. When you look at the Cincinnati Bengals, they have one of the stronger passing attacks in the entire league, led by guys like Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. You have Joe Mixon out the backfield, and then you also look at, on the other side, the Buffalo Bills. They have one of the stronger pass defenses in the entire league, so we're looking at a strength versus a strength, where I think Cincinnati loses a little bit of their advantage towards Buffalo. Buffalo has a very good but not an elite run defense, and when you have a running back like Joe Mixon, you think that would stack up well against them. However, with Cincinnati losing their third lineman against the Ravens last week, we'll see if that injury really has a whole lot to do on how they establish an efficient run. But where I think the tides of this game can change when you look at Buffalo, where they have one of the better offenses of the entire league with Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, all them guys, right? And then you look at the Cincinnati Bengals, their defense is good, but not quite. I don't think it's up to par to stop a team like the Bills when they get rolling offensively. So with that, Vegas has the Buffalo Bills as 5-point favorites. I'm going to go ahead and give them a nice round 7-point favorite against the Cincinnati Bengals, for the sole fact that I think Cincinnati would have a harder time scoring on Buffalo than Buffalo would on Cincinnati. When you have a dynamic offense like Buffalo, I think they're able to do that at a high clip. So I'm going to take, in the divisional round, I'm taking the Buffalo Bills over the Cincinnati Bengals to start off the playoffs weekend. So the next game I want to spend some time talking about are the Jaguars versus the Kansas City Chiefs. And to be honest with y'all, I do not think this is going to be a close game. Not because I'm a bitter Chargers fan who lost to the Jaguars. It has nothing to do with that. I know how to be unbiased. But when I look at this matchup, I truly think in every single way that the Chiefs are just the superior team. Offensively, we didn't got to talk about that. You got Pat Mahomes, you got Travis Kelce, you already know what that is. I know Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars have been playing well, but they're not that. They're not them, right? Then defensively, let it be known the Chiefs are actually good defensively, especially they have one of the 4 best coverage units in the NFL. They're top 10 in interception percentage. They're top 10 in yards gained per pass attempt, meaning they don't allow a lot of yards thrown on them. And they're second in the entire league in sacks. So not only can they torch you on offense, they can stop you on defense. And honestly, when you look at this Jaguars team, outside of the fact that the Chargers completely blew a 27-0 lead, which I will give credit to the Jaguars, they were able to come back from that. But you saw how they were getting beat up in the first half. I don't see the Kansas City Chiefs as a team to jump out on you like that and just completely collapse. So with this, Vegas has the Chiefs as a 9-point favorite. Vegas doesn't like to do large swings in terms of how a team's going to win, but I do. I'm telling you, the Chiefs are going to win this game by 20. Book it. So for the next game, we have the 49ers versus the Dallas Cowboys. And if Dallas has any hopes of winning this game, they're going to have to play just like they did last week. Now, it's going to be difficult because last week you played a bad team. Like, by no stretch of the imagination was Tampa Bay a good team. That was a bad team that should not have even been in the playoffs. When you look at the 49ers, this is a real team. This is actually a good team. And defensively, they're so good that they are tied for the most interceptions in the league, are top 2 in defending the rush, allow the 3rd fewest yards per play, and barely allow any yards after the catch for receivers in which they face. So, what can Dallas do outside of just playing perfect? Well, they're going to have to do like they did against the Buccaneers, spend a lot of time trying to establish the rush and keep the 49ers off the field. If you do that, you're not going to get a whole lot of yards after the catch from your receivers, but just make sure that Dak gets the ball to his receivers on critical downs, not a lot of turnovers, if any turnovers, and they can win this game. Now, do I think they will? No, I don't. No, the 49ers are going to win this game. I wanted to pick Dallas as an upset. I really did, but nah, I just don't think they have the talent, and I don't think they can summon up that perfect game they had against Tampa Bay and do it again against the 49ers. So, Vegas has the 49ers as a 4-point favorite. I think it could be close. I'm going to say a 5-point favorite. I'm going to give them, I'm going to say 6-point favorite. I'm going to say San Fran wins this game by 6. But it would not shock me if the Cowboys won. But I have to pick a team, and I will say San Fran wins this game by 6. And then for our final game, we have the Philadelphia Eagles versus the New York Giants. When you look at a team like the Eagles, the main question going into this matchup is how healthy is Jalen Hurts going to be? We know he was injured towards the end of last season, and then the last game of the year, granted it was the last game, so I wouldn't wade too much into it, but he didn't really look like himself. But when this team is healthy, when Jalen is healthy, the Eagles have a top 10 passing attack. If they might have the best receiving core in the entire league with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert. You have Miles Sanders out the backfield, Quez Watkins. It's a sensational receiving core, and then you have to account for how well they run the football with Jalen Hurts and Miles Sanders. And with a team like the Giants who struggle against the run, the Eagles team would be a nightmare for them. On the flip side, though, the Eagles defense, as great as it is against the pass, they were kind of getting cooked later in the season, but they're still an elite pass defense. I think they were like number 1 or 2 in the league for total interceptions. Not great against mobile quarterbacks, and like we saw last week with Daniel Jones, I don't know if he was Mike Vick, but the boy played like White Vick. He was running everywhere. So that would be an issue for the Eagles, but I don't really think Daniel Jones's legs are enough to beat this Eagles team. So with that, Vegas has the Eagles as a 7.5-point favorite. I've been watching this Eagles team. I'm going to give them 13 points. If Jalen is healthy, and his offensive line protects him the way they normally do, I'm going to say the Eagles win this game by 13 points, and Philly is going to win. And there you have it, folks. I'm going to go ahead and say the Chiefs beat the Jaguars, the Bills beat the Bengals, the 49ers beat the Cowboys, and the Eagles beat the New York Giants. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments below. Comment below what you think. If I'm right, if I'm wrong. If you're saying I'm wrong, you're wrong, because I know I'm right. Look, I went 4 for 6 last time. Should have went 5 for 6. The Chargers let me down, but this time I know for a fact 4 for 4. Perfect record. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and until next time, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.